Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. I had a viewer write in and ask me what to do when you just have to put up with the narcissist abuser in your life, when you really can't let go of the situation, you really can't get out of it. You're living with them, you know things aren't right, but it's just not feasible for you to move right now. It's not feasible for you to get away from them. Situations are such that you're either living with them or working with them, and you need to know how to put up with them. Well, for one, would definitely recommend the concept of no contact. If you have to put up with them and deal with them and cope with them, you want to do it in the smoothest, sort of benign, gentle way possible, so you don't incriminate yourself. In other words, you don't want to do something that makes you stand out or seem like you're upsetting the apple cart, so to speak. So if it is something where you're engaging in active conversation, do your best just to listen and agree, nod your head yes, and go along with them. Don't try to buck their story. Don't try to have a lot of back and forth. Don't have a lot of bantering. Don't fight them off. Just go with the flow. Yield to them and just basically listen. And in the meantime, don't shortchange yourself in terms of your needs. Start to really kind of actively think about an exit strategy moving forward. Take time to daydream, take time to really get a resolve of yourself moving forward and why it's so important to you. Get your strength up, get your courage up to move forward, no matter what it takes. If it takes, getting some finances together, get the financing together. If it takes some moving, look at either a new job or moving to a new location, and don't let people talk you out of it. Of course, that's going to be the number one thing. If you've got, other family members or co-workers who you're confiding in, they're going to try to talk you out of it. They're going to try to keep you in the same status quo. They're going to make you feel like it's not that bad. Well, you have to be your own best determinant and determine what is best for you. The input of others is going to be nice, and especially if they're your support system, but you ultimately answer to yourself and your higher self and your creator. I mean, they are, ultimately you answer to yourself. That's where it's going to be. You have to, take more and more accountability for that and responsibility for yourself. For a lot of people who have been in an abusive situation for some time, it's very difficult to make that change. It's very difficult to change it up. It's difficult to change gears and say, you know what, responsibility starts here and it ends here, and I'm accountable for myself. If you're used to being in that relationship with somebody, it's hard to let that go. I mean, they're like a living, breathing person in your environment, and it's hard to just, cut it off cold turkey, so to speak. For some people, it's a lot easier to, or they have so much conviction, enough is enough. They've seen enough. They absolutely positively can't and won't handle anymore, no matter what it means. I mean, if it means, leaving their job, leaving their home, getting a new apartment, staying in a hotel, they'll definitely do that, because they know that they have to get up, and these boots were meant for walking. They know when it's time to cut the losses and pull that trigger and move forward. It's getting all the wheels in motion, so to speak. But if you have to be in a tolerable situation with them, keep some private time for yourself, making sure that you've got that quiet time where you can kind of come to center and figure out where your next moves are. Do not be, making yourself so available for them so that you're there to do all the different things that they're requesting of you. Have some new things scheduled for yourself. Get some things in the calendar. Look proactively at like a metro mix in your area. Start finding festivals, art shows, different expos to become part of. Start to find, places where you can go to have an outlet. Start reading a little bit. Take the helm in your life. Start becoming a little bit of a leader in, or volunteering, and, just you can advise them of this, that, you're getting active in these areas, and don't do your best not to invite them along. I mean, these are some things that you're going to have to maybe get used to trying on your own, and it might be a little bit uncomfortable, it might be a little bit scary, yes, but the people that you're going to meet and the support you're going to receive from others while you expand yourself is going to be very beneficial for you. So if you feel kind of at a loss even to how to begin some of these things, use your online resources, ask around at your local library, look at your local community college, look at your church, look at some other social service sort of organizations in your area where you can just start to plug in a little bit and get moving in there. If you've got some friends who can join you, all the better. But do your best to tolerate the situation, keeping cool, not counter fighting the narcissist. One interesting thing is that with every force, if they try to force you into something, you're going to come back with a combative mentality. You're going to come back with a counter force. Do your best to stay out of that sort of conflict roller coaster cycle. In other words, just say okay, 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 and just like let it go. Even though you're still in the situation and you don't want it to be, just kind of give in. So be it, and just eventually let them follow and do these sort of activities that they're into, even if it upsets you. If it's going to help you with your tolerating situation, then just let it go. Learn to be agreeable, learn to say okay. Maybe, if you have to do a few certain things their way, if it can help you gain ground and perspective, and ultimately you're keeping your goals moving forward, then so be it. But definitely make time for yourself. Have a journal, have a place where you can write down your goals, your dreams, your action steps. If you can do this first thing in the morning, all the better. Spend at least, get up 20 minutes, half an hour early, and just start writing, what do I want? What do I want in my life? Who do I want to become? What do I want to be? What am I procrastinating about? What are my true goals and ambitions? What are my true passions? What are things that I've really been putting it off that I need to start handling and dealing with right away? If you can start just writing some of these out in your recovery journal, this is going to help you give some structure to yourself. And by all means, if you need some phone consultation, you can please email me your phone number, and we can correspond by email, and we can get some structure together for you and a game plan moving forward. I have several people who I've done this for, and if I can be of service to helping you get some concrete steps, by all means. It's very nice to be able to share this sort of healing and journey moving forward, especially with someone who's been there and understands where you're at and understands where you want to go and what you're going through presently, so you can get some concrete steps. It might seem like esoteric information. If you go to your local bookstore, you can try to study these things and learn about it, best as you can. But it's very important that you start putting this into action so you can start really moving forward and healing for yourself. In terms of, other tolerating activities, find ways to get support of other people in your family, not so that you're, trying to bully the narcissist or, gang up on them, but with people who you feel safe in your environment. Share some of your plans and see if they can also give you some individualized feedback so you can move forward, so you can make it more of a reality in your life. Oftentimes people keep it in their head, they keep it dreaming, and then it ends up staying there for years and years. I mean, to the point where it becomes nearly impossible. And I had a viewer who wrote to me, which inspired me, and it made me want to mention that time is really valuable. Your time is very important to you, and we never know when we're going to befall an illness, a sickness. We're going to develop something ongoing with ourselves personally that we truly need support of and prayers of, and we're weak emotionally and physically, and that narcissist probably isn't going to be there for us. And so you really need to realize that You know, we might be strong and healthy now, but you know, we're one doctor visit away from having a diagnosis of some sort and learning some life-changing news. So the more you procrastinate, you know, the more in jeopardy one is really putting themselves. Especially when you're under duress and stress of an abusive relationship, this tends to take a lot of tolls on the immune system, on the digestive system, and of course on your emotional ability and your energy level overall. But you know, we see a lot of uprising nowadays of increase of autoimmune disorders in women. This fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, a lot of the heartburn symptoms, gastroesophageal reflux syndrome. A lot of these, you know, this irritable bowel syndrome that's erupting now, this gluten intolerance, a lot of the digestive disorders, a lot of these are related to lifestyle. And I find it very sad, you know, the heart disease, a lot of that as well. You know, having a very stressful life, a very stressful diet, very, you know, unhealthy food. I mean, I think these are all contributing factors that we really need to wake up, pay attention to, become aware of, and then start handling and making these changes. And you know, these are all within the realms of our control and our fingertips. It just takes a little bit of reminding of oneself. You know what? I do feel better when I am sleeping well. I do feel better when I have a plant-based diet. I do feel better when I'm eating leaner meats. I do feel better when I'm eating yogurt and some of the, you know, higher calcium foods. I do feel better when I'm not eating so much bread. I do feel better when I'm not eating all this fast food. There's very little nutrition in fast food, so you might say to yourself, you know what, I really do not feel good eating chicken McNuggets. I mean, there's also the study of that one girl who ate nothing but chicken McNuggets for 6 years, and she was extremely nutritive deprived. I mean, she had to be hospitalized. This fast food, it might have quote-unquote calories in it, but it's very devoid of nutrition. So your body is not receiving the very values that it needs to run. It's like a car, you know, trying to run on water. It's just, it needs gasoline, it needs fuel. So you need to find that in your nutrition. So any of these sort of changes that can keep you kind of at your best, you know, are things you need to take note of and keep this on track and keep it written for yourself and make an active change. So you can, you know, better tolerate the situations that you're in and have the energy, stamina, and devotion to your vision moving forward. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support. Love you.